I start again in a second as if I didn't already start it. And yeah, just forget to plug in my microphone. So, again, now with Christmas being over, it's time for New Year's Eve. And don't think that I will do a New Year's Eve doll every year. I just had an idea. So, this year you get one as well. And with that, I already made the wig. So I am sketching that in, but I'm not talking that much about it yet because you will see the part in a moment. So, this time, for the first time, we have a kind of bob, which is something rather new for me. Then I want to make a top out of a very glittery, sparkly fabric. We have mainly black, but a little bit of pink and green glitter in it, and I think I might have to seal that in a bit more. Huh? Well, maybe not. That will be the top, and I again want to make something without straps or something. So corset-esque. And it has to end somewhere here. Because then I want to make a fairly short skirt. And that skirt will be made out of this fabric. So for this part of the skirt I only take a little bit of it, and I might even layer it with this one, which is a see-through organza type fabric. And then, because I want to incorporate the whole length, I again want to do kind of an overskirt. Then she gets some stockings and some type of shoes. I don't know which kind of shoes right now. And to have a bit more interest on this and not just black fabric, I want to put on some firework designs, and I want to put them basically just as dots, and they will be everywhere. That is what I have to prepare first. Anyway, and those will be made out of some colors of rhinestones. So the main undertone of the dress will be black, but we will have a lot of colors going on. And I assume I will only use the smallest ones with maybe two bigger ones at the end. We will see. First step is now to glue rhinestones all over these two fabrics, and maybe even before that, deciding how long the fabrics need to be, because they are ruffled on the top, and I might maybe do that a bit more so we have a bit fuller skirt. But yeah, I will figure that out now. Then I glue the rhinestones on, and when that is done, I am going to then obviously stitch that together and make a corset-esque top out of this. Let's talk doll and wig for a moment. I decided for this year's doll I wanted to use a Clawdeen because she will get a wig. For that I need to make a wig cap, and then it's not so annoying when I have to cut off the ears. Otherwise, when I do a reroute or something, I don't really like to use Clawdeen because of the chopping off of the ears and having two big holes then in the head. But Because she gets a wig cap, I was fine with using her. So I prepared her by cutting off the hair, getting everything out, and chopping off the ears. To then make the wig cap, I wrapped her into some cling film and held everything in position with a ton of rubber bands. As soon as I had the tulle on top, I did 2 layers of tulle. I again wrapped more rubber bands around her. And then I used a simple white crafting PVA glue that I really worked into the tulle, because the tulle is just plastic. You don't have fibers that will cling together. So I think it was a good choice to really work it in there so it really stuck together. I did 3 layers of PVA glue. When one was dry, I did the next one, and with that I had a rather sturdy wig cap that I then could cut to size and put back onto her head. Because instead of hair, I wanted to use rhinestone chains. And those chains are basically, you have rhinestones with a AB cover. They are mostly turquoise, bluish, and you have them set in golden things, settings, and then they are strung together. And yeah, I cut that to size and made a wig out of it. And because in case there is something showing through, I decided to cover the wig cap in a very sparkly holographic fabric I bought ages ago, never used so far, and for that it was perfect, I have to say, because it was slightly stretchy, so you could very nicely put it on there. And from here on out I had the beautiful task of cutting a rather long chain of rhinestones into segments and gluing them onto her head. My initial idea was to give her a kind of layered hairstyle, but because I didn't use as many layers of rhinestone as you would have hair, it did look a little bit too chopped for my likings. I like smooth layers that fall into each other, and that was not what I was able to achieve, which, thinking about it now, is not a surprise. But anyway, I then already had it in a rather short format, because I took the shortest strand and basically fitted the whole hairstyle to this length. And because it already was quite the bob hairstyle, I then decided to embrace that and have the front a tiny bit longer than the back. I would say it's more of a long bob territory than a real bob, but anyway. After all of that was done, I have to say I was quite impressed with the wig. So I made another one. And then I was very impressed with the rhinestone wig, so I thought, what other materials can I use? I already used 2 other materials. I guess this will lead to a video about different materials for doll wigs. Ta-ta-ta-ta-ta-ta. While the dress is being produced, let's take the time to wipe off her former existence. I'm now going to remove her face with acetone, and then she gets 3 sprays of MSC, so we can start with our repaint. I think I am going to do the dress or the rest of the dress off camera, which is basically the skirt and the corset. And we will see us again when all of that is done and she is sprayed. With her sprayed and her dress being quite done, and she turned out a little bit more gothic-esque than I thought, but I really like that and I do want to embrace that. Obviously we need to, that's the back, just for you if you are interested. And as I started it, all of the rhinestones are glued in a pattern like fireworks, but you don't see it that much, I have to admit. Anyway, we need to pick some shoes. Where do I have my shoe box? There. Okay. It does look as if I threw down a shoe. As if I don't really have some in here right now that I want to use. I have to go through my other dolls because the ones Timothy did send me still have their shoes on, most of them. Maybe there is another one with black shoes. Quite possibly the Motorola girls will have the second part of the shoes removed. The first girl already got her shoes removed. Anyway, we are now starting with the face up. And I want to go on with the slightly gothic theme and give her a rather dark, smoky eye-esque aesthetic. Maybe I go for a golden lip. Not sure yet because of her wig having the gold in it. We will see. But I definitely want to go with a rather bold, smoky eye makeup, and I am going to glue some rhinestones again in the corner of the eye. Maybe I do that in a similar slightly bow. A bow? Is it a bow? Yes, a bow. So that it looks like a firework that is having some gravity on it. I'm not sure yet. But, as I said, I will start with a more edgy, gothic-esque, smoky eye aesthetic first. So, let's start. I gave her some nail polish that we have to gloss later, because I think I don't want to give her matte varnish. But she now needs lashes. Maybe this time I will remember to cut them shorter in the end. With the angel as well as with the one I made together with my brother, I did forget about it. Both of them still have long lashes. And now that I remembered that I have this thing in my sewing basket, I can use it again. There isn't really a need to glue it in place, but I want to glue it in place. Now we need some gloss. And as per usual, lips, eyes, and this time the nails will be glossed. And then we see us to dress her when that is dried. First of all, lashes. Let's put her into her outfit. First of all, we have this neck thingamajig, and I am going to sew that on because I'm not sure if I will be able to get that on otherwise, and yeah. And I do feel she did got quite the glam goth look in the end, which I quite like, I have to admit. Otherwise I wouldn't have decided to go that route, I guess. But it did, and it came a little bit unexpected. I did think that, or I thought that the dress would look more, yeah, New Year's Eve celebration. Gosh, talking is not my strong suit at 5 o'clock in the morning. So I thought her dress would look a little bit more like a New Year's Eve celebration dress. Now it looks a little bit like a goth version of it, which I am fine with. But it was not what I planned initially. And I thought that especially the pattern of the rhinestones would come through a bit more, which it doesn't. And that was her hand. I did talk about gravity. Yeah, I thought the pattern would come through a little bit more. It didn't. I'm fine with that because I still think she looks very cool. And that was my goal, so I am happy with her anyway. And with this, let's take a look at the finished pictures. Even though she turned out different than I thought, I do think she is quite cool. Yeah, let me know what you think about her in the comment section down below. The last thing left for me is to wish you a very nice, very amazing New Year's Eve celebration. that you get into the new year safe, and that the new year will have everything and anything in store that you wish it will have. Happy New Year, everybody, and until next time, bye.